What's going on, everyone? My name is Tanner, and welcome to TRUETAN WRESTLING. Hold it. Sorry, animated me, but I think you, me, the viewers, we all know what we want. So, let's roll this tape, shall we? If you like this video, feel free to leave a like, and if you loved it, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button to grow the sport of wrestling and to grow my channel, of course. And with all that said, I will see you guys next time, and have a great day. Alrighty, first things first, I don't only wear this shirt, I promise, for Hot Ones fans out there, Hot Ones wrestler fans. I just thought this would be a nice shirt to wear, so buy your merch if you want a TRUETAN Wrestling shirt, I guess. But yeah, that's, I guess, one way to start this. So yeah, I recently just graduated with my MBA in Business Management, Business Admin, I believe, from Baldwin Wallace University. I originally had my undergrad in marketing and finance, and I wrestled there for 5 years. It was a great time. I can't thank my teammates throughout those 5 years enough. Going through a program like Baldwin Wallace, where you're top 10 in the country every year. This year we were top 8. Had our first national champ in 33 years. We had 2 finalists, or 2 All-Americans, 2 finalists, so we had a quick Saturday morning session. Being on a team like that was really incredible for me. I really matured through that program. I turned from a young man to a man, essentially, and I just made a bunch of great friends that I can't thank enough. I'll kind of get into why I went there here in a little bit, but I guess I'll just go back to when I was younger. And how I kind of got into wrestling. I've been wrestling since I was in 1st grade. I wrestled for a small school in Tamaqua, which is in District 11. I was alright in high school. I was a 2-time medalist in AA, which is like the smaller to middle schools. I was a 2-time medalist there. I took 6th and 8th. After I placed my junior year, I got a lot of letters from places. I didn't really know what to do. The funniest part about BW that I only tell a few people, so now all my fans are going to know, is so I was getting all these letters. I didn't really want to go Division I. I did a couple smaller school visits like Hofstra and Bloomsburg, smaller D1 schools. Because I went to a small school, I just wanted a small classroom environment, essentially. And I basically got that where I went at BW. I just wanted to know the professors, I wanted them to know me, stuff like that. I wanted to know the community. And BW was a great fit for that. But I didn't really want to go D1. I had a few friends that had a couple bad experiences. I really wanted to focus on my education a lot. Not saying that D1 you can't do that. You definitely can do that at any Division I school. They just weren't good fits for me. And at the end of the day, when you're getting recruited, you got to find the best fit for you, whether it's money or any kind of reason. But yeah, I was getting a lot of visits, and I remember this school from Iowa called, and now that I live in Ohio, Iowa isn't that far, to be honest, in retrospect, but I didn't want to go that far from Pennsylvania. I wanted my parents to somewhat have a realistic chance of watching me wrestle. So then my search slowly turned into just like PA schools, which was cool. I looked at a couple of them, a couple in like the New England area as well. But the funny part was, right after that call, I was just sending letters back, no matter who it was. Right before that call from the Iowa coach, I sent a letter to BW. And to be honest, if BW would have sent me a letter after that call, I probably wouldn't even have filled it out, which is wild. And yeah, I just got in contact with the coaches, and it was history ever since. How's it going? What's going on, everyone? We're at my new alma mater, ×2, undergrad and masters. Thank you to Griffin Rathburn for filming this, but let's go check out the wrestling room at good old BW.
Let's see it.
These are the old classroom stomping grounds. I'd like to thank Griffin for taking time out of his busy school schedule to help me out with this. But yeah, this is just a classroom right in here. This is a little different than usual, but this is a pretty good one to show off. Like an auditorium, I presented in here a lot. Did some internship things in there as well, presentations, and then here's something more like it. A standard business room, classroom, pretty fun, standard. But it's good though. A lot of learning, a lot of learning learned in here. But forever grateful. But at BW, I wasn't really like the best of the best. I was very mid-tier, as I would say on the channel. I was productive at moments, but I was very inconsistent, I guess. I beat guys I was supposed to beat most of the time. Yeah, I normally beat the guy I was supposed to beat. I beat a couple top-tier guys, but I never made it to nationals or anything. I always was just a little bit short is how I would put it. I'm sure some people would downgrade me or even upgrade myself in that perspective. But that's just how I kind of look at it. But yeah, I was all right, but I had so much fun. At the end of the day, the school I wanted to go to, I wanted to get better at wrestling. I was a three-time. I was the regional starter three of my 5 years. The 1 year got canceled, so I guess you could say I would have been a 4-time regional starter. But honestly, at the end of the day, I just had so much fun. I became the best wrestler I could be at Ball and Wallace. I wrestled 149 and 141 for the most part. But a major shift that happened was kind of right before college and then after my freshman year of college. The only way to really describe that is to go back to 2013. I think I was in middle school getting ready to go to high school. So this was like literally the first film I made that wasn't just me in it. It's called Directing a Bad Movie, and essentially it's a bad movie all around. It wasn't just directing a bad, it was double bad directing, but it's one of those movies where it's like making a movie inside of a movie. You get the gist. I don't know why the quotes are around the title though. All right, let's get this. They're reading right from the script. Look at that edit job. It was a another cut. I love how I'm nitpicking this and I made it. Wait, why did you switch sides? I actually... There's a burp in there. Wait. That's my man Eddie, by the way. Shout out. He was in a lot of my films. This was his biggest role, I think. But shout out to him. He's a great guy. Same with Hunter. That was a really bad cut. This is what happens when you give middle schoolers a computer to type stuff on and a printer to print out the script and a camera. The camera's the big one. This is what happens when you give middle schoolers a camera. Nice light job. Almost looks like my lighting situations now. She didn't get the last. We must have been running out of time because if you've noticed. Oh, whoops. What am I trying to say here? All right, let's go back one more. Like. A lot of them got this angle, but then the next two just got this angle, which is really bad. But I mean, they got to see their faces earlier, I guess, in the dark. I actually really like that. And that cut was good for middle school. Let's watch it again. Oh, it wasn't as good as it looked the first time. There's gonna be someone that's like, I made videos in middle school and just totally flex on us, which I hope that actually happens. Here comes a bad cut.
I called it bad. I'll take one of the couches.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is why this is private now. I mean, hold on. I didn't even like mention the blur. Like, this scene's so crazy. Like, so crazy that like, okay, he jumps and then the camera goes way out of focus. Oh my gosh, how much time's left? Oh, dear. Oh, I love these scenes. I'll be honest. I love them. Like, look at this ridiculousness. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh wait, there's something funny. I'm like going crazy like with the movie. Would you believe that one line created this whole movie? I used to just, I don't remember, we were reading a book and there was Peter, and I would just go, Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater, and it spawned this whole movie, that one line. I'm not even kidding. Where did the creativity go, ladies and gentlemen? Let's just listen to it again, because this scene's just, what is going on? So stupid. That was my favorite part. That was awful. Because it was awful for me to watch it. I didn't really watch a lot of wrestling. You have to be a student of the sport. You gotta watch film on yourself and stuff like that. And I kinda did. But I wasn't really a student of the sport. I didn't watch a lot of wrestling, didn't do a lot of that stuff. And then it was 2013 and my dad was watching the finals and I was just like, I don't know, doing anything. I didn't really want to watch it, didn't really care. I was probably hanging out with friends, but I was hanging out with friends. And then I came home and it was Dake versus Taylor, 2013. Dake, of course, the announcers were saying all over the place, going for his 4th title, 4-time, at 4 different weight classes, which even at the time I was like, alright, what's the big deal? Like, everyone in high school normally switches weights. But in college, like, obviously that doesn't happen too often, because you were just kind of done growing at a certain point. He was going against David Taylor, who was a returning Hodge winner. Penn State was so dominant then, and they would continue to get even more dominant. And they wrestled, and that match just kind of changed everything. I realized that I could watch the whole finals, so then in 2014, I watched all the finals, and I also realized that they would show the whole tournament leading up to that. So then in 2015, I had a DVR, and I watched the whole tournament. I recorded stuff when I was at school, and I just watched it. And then 2016 and 2017, I started buying like Flow subscriptions, and that was game over for me. I kind of just really fell in love with sport. And another key thing to notice, I got my license in there. So I went to a lot of clubs, and my dad normally would either leave work early or rush home, shower up, take me to practice. Then it came to a point, the off-season stuff, he was just like, hey, you could just drive yourself. And don't get me wrong, my dad was one of the most supportive wrestling dads ever. I can't thank him enough. But it was at that moment I was like, alright, like, I'm driving by myself. I'm like, I actually really love this sport. Like, I'm not just doing it. And that was the switch. If that never happened, I don't know if I ever would even wrestled in college. I loved watching it. And then just a combination of those things, once I got to college, and it was basically all on me and the coaches and teammates. Shout out to Coach Gibbs and Coach Astro for elevating my wrestling, but I just couldn't leave the room. I loved the wrestling room. I just wanted to wrestle all the time. Wrestling turned into a sport, from a sport into a game for me. Like, I just loved every aspect of it. I loved the sweat, the grind, everything. It just was all a lot of fun, and it was a weird realization that my dad being supportive from a distance at that point, he knew I was about to go on my own. Me just loving watching wrestling and me just loving the craft and chasing a goal, just sort of all came together at the right time, and I sort of just became a wrestler. I wasn't just someone who did wrestling, and it was a special moment that I look back on here and there. Hello everyone. Every morning we wake up and take this little monster out. I'm not talking about the little actual monster, this little guy. This is Harry. Hi, Harry. Oh, yeah. He loves belly rubs. Hello, Casey.
Good morning.
Are you excited for today?
Yes. So excited.
What do you do?
I am a second grade teacher.
Do you love your job?
I do love my job.
Good. She's really good at her job, too. She's modest, though. Let me get the front angle.
Got to get the front shot.
What do you want me to do, Case?
Film this.
Alright, let me go over here.
I'm Scott.
Oh, gosh.
Let's redo it. Redo it.
Hi, here. What are you?
The world's best boss.
Wow, beautiful scene.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. I'm Scott.
So yeah, like obviously wrestling was a big part of my inspiration to make videos now, but for those who don't know, I was making videos, probably one of the reasons I didn't like watching wrestling was because I was such a film nerd, man. Like, I was just making films with my friends, making movie reviews. I wanted to be a movie critic for a long time. I wanted to be a director for a long time. And I just loved the craft of making videos. It was like the second hardest thing behind wrestling. Just the whole process, writing something up, having a vision for it, getting the actors to come together. It's a lot like a business with systems thinking, just everything has so many moving parts that affect everything. But yeah, I'll go back. My biggest inspiration was definitely James Rolfe, who, I don't know if anyone knows who that is, but he is the creator of Angry Video Game Nerds, Cinemassacre's Monster Madness. But he was making films back in the 80s with just a camcorder when he was a little kid, and then eventually turned into like one of the massive YouTube stars, and he's still around today getting millions of views. But back to how I just got into film and how I know how to edit and all this stuff to make my YouTube content. So yeah, I was making those movie reviews for a while, and then all of a sudden, like, I got a camera. I would beg for him for Christmas, and then I would get them. I would get cameras and stuff and just film stupid stuff like movie reviews that like only would get 4 views or something. In middle school, there was a prompt of a book we read in class, and you could do a lot of different things, like write a story, like a sequel story or stuff like that, or you could make a little video. So I got a bunch of my friends. They all got points for it. We all got points for it, and then we kind of just made this video. It was a hit within like my school. Like, no one else really watched it, but like the parents, the school, like, it was just a fun time. And then like from there, I just kind of ran with it. We made a bunch of films.
Hi, my name is Josh Derrick. I played Wayne, Brody, and Colin in 3 of Tanner's movies. Playing Wayne was probably the most sentimental role for me, just because it was the first like production I was ever really a part of in any facet. I went on to make some of my own videos, but the very first one that I ever worked on was Raiders of the Lost Ark New World Order with Tanner. And when he first asked me to be in it, I was like, yes, please. Like, that sounds exactly something right up my alley. And it was definitely one of the most fun experiences I have ever had. Don't Do Drugs, definitely the most original title out of the ones that I was a part of. That one, I think, may have been one of the most fun, just because I felt like we took that one the least serious. I felt like that one was really easy to put together, at least in my opinion. You know, the movie itself, I think it had a good plot. I think we really got the message that we were trying to get across. And I think that one was probably one of the most fun ones to make. Fun in terms of not stressful. And finally, Tanner's magnum opus, The Strand. I know I said I had the most fun filming Don't Do Drugs just because it was probably the most lax out of all of them. But I think the most rewarding one, and the one that gave me the purest amount of joy, had to be The Strand. Just the scale of it. It was the biggest, longest, and most high production, if you want to call it that, movie that we ever did. I think everybody did a great job, and I'm super proud of, you know, what we all came together and, you know, created. And playing Colin in that movie, I think out of all of them, I felt the most in character there. I had the greatest experience from a filmmaking aspect doing that. And honestly, for that piece of art that we created, I can't thank Tanner enough. If I had to pick my favorite scene, I honestly don't think I'd be able to. I think just the experience of making these movies, all of them, was so enjoyable to me just because I'm so interested in that kind of art that every scene was fun. I mean, some more than others, but really it's almost impossible for me to pick one over the other just because of how much pure fun that I was having the entire time. If we had to remake any of them, honestly, if Tanner hit me up next week and said, hey, we're redoing every video we ever made and we're going to make it 100 times better, are you in? That's an easy 100% yes. I would absolutely love to remake or, you know, revisit any of those movies. And I think if we were to give it another go, I think we'd make something pretty awesome.
But like all throughout the end of middle school and then like all throughout high school, I had this idea for this movie called Is Strand. It was like my swan song. I put so much time, effort, and thought into it. Like it took me all, I always had the idea, I always had the script outline, and then all of a sudden I just finally did the script, finally got all the actors. It wasn't for school, we could just do whatever we want. We didn't have like a prompt. So I finally made this like zombie movie. What would happen if like we actually stopped the apocalypse, and like there's like, yeah, it's like, there was a lot of layers to it. But like, I premiered at my house. God bless my parents for helping me set that up. And it was just a great time. Like everyone loved it from Tamaqua, obviously. And looking back, it was a great time. But with that said, I was making movie reviews that like, and I just kind of got burnt out. Like I made everything I wanted to, and I was just burnt out. Like I was done. I stopped YouTube. I was going to school. And that was it. That break sort of helped me find the catapult I needed to get back into videos and what we know as now as TRUETAN Wrestling.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying.
So this Iowa video was kind of forming in my head because I was like, yeah, what is going on with Iowa? That my first video. And then I was sitting at a part-time job I had. It was called Liberty Home Mortgage. Shout out to all of them. A lot of wrestlers work there in Independence, Ohio. And they brought in Paul from Everything Money. They are a big YouTube channel. Very, very fun guys. But it was Paul from Everything Money. And they were talking about when they started their channel. And he was just talking about someone. And he's like, if it's important to you to make these videos, you'll do it now. And he was talking about some guy going on vacation. He's like, I'll just do it when I'm done. And then he said that to that guy, and the guy made like 3 videos before he left for vacation. And that was kind of the push I needed. If there's any piece of advice I want to give to some people, it's sometimes all you need is a push to jump off the ledge, to just be like, all right, it's time to just do this. And that push helped me just be like, all right, let's just do it. I was like, if I get burnt out like before, it's not meant to be. If I post it and it's whatever, but wrote a pretty decent script, used a janky microphone I had, and I just rolled with it. And a big thanks to my teammates, because I was like, hey guys, check this out if you want, get some views up, and I think a lot of them watched it. A lot of them became fans of the channel, and I just kept making videos, and here we are.
The following is in no way the actual day in the life of TRUETAN Wrestling. This is clearly a parody of The Wolf of Wall Street. Enjoy.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the TRUETAN Wrestling Studio. I thank you all for joining me today, and let's check out the crib and a day in the life. So on average, I wake up and watch enough wrestling film to sedate Dan Gable, Cael Sanderson, and Tom Ryan for about a month. I watch freestyle highlights 15 to 10 times a day for my back pain. I keep up to date with wrestling Twitter to stay focused, watch Jordan Burroughs interviews to take the edge off, write some scripts to mellow me out, rewatch NCAA finals to pick me back up, and then edit some of my content because, well, it's awesome. I got to 1K pretty fast, but my mentality's never changed. I was always like, I'm always going to improve on my mistakes. I'm going to constantly try to improve. I'm just going to keep working this. I love doing this. It's unbelievable. Like, I always wanted a fan base like I have, but I've never imagined that I'd actually get there, if that makes sense. So the mentality always was to add a level of grit, professionalism, and just keep pushing this channel. And I was like, I'm going to put all the effort I'm in, listen to some criticisms and fix them. Because at the end of the day, I'm a wrestling guy. Like, I make wrestling content. But I'm like a filmmaker that got into wrestling. Throughout my story, if anyone noticed that, like, I want to do a lot more creative things with like wrestling content. That's another thing. Like, I wanted to take a podcast and funnel it down to the important stuff and make that into my video. And I can't thank all my viewers enough for that. Like, you guys are the reason. The small amount of Patreons I have, go support. The small amount of people who bought the shirts, go support if you want. But the viewers on YouTube are where it all started. So I can't thank you guys enough. If you're a new viewer, old viewer, kind of just started, kind of been around for a while, I can't thank you all enough for this experience and building TRUETAN Wrestling. Yeah, like, it's awesome.
Tanner had an uncanny ability to keep everybody on track during filming, especially with a project like The Strand, where you have a lot of people involved, a lot of scenes to shoot, a lot of lines to remember, and a lot of, I guess, emotions to convey. Tanner had the ability to really keep everybody on track, and when people would be getting too distracted, or, you know, if I was getting out of hand, Tanner would be the first one to go, all right, everyone shut up, let's get this done, let's get this scene filmed, and let's get on to the next scene. And I think that speaks to his strengths as a filmmaker, and in general, just his attributes as a person, to really be able to put his nose to the grindstone and really chase after whatever he wants to get done.